dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you today? Tudo bem? Let us know in the chat if you will. Now, we have some very interesting co-host guests for you this morning. Raquel will be joining us at around 9:30 to talk about a comment upon the new NHR 2.0. So the NHR was scrapped, if you recall, at the end of last year, and it was the end of quite the institution that which many people benefited from moving to Portugal, and Portuguese people themselves moving back to Portugal and taking advantage of that tax regime. The new government, the one who are promising tax cuts all over the place, is your new Prime Minister. Oh, there he is, right there. Part of the economic incentives that are being revisited, reborn, are the NHR 2.0, it's being referred to on the streets, and Raquel will give us her view of it. It's not the same as it was before. It is a transformation, an evolution of the earlier idea, and I'm not sure if it's law yet, but we shall find out when we chat to Raquel from Lighthouse Consulting. And of course, if you have any questions about starting a business here in Portugal, she's the woman to speak to. And our other guest this morning, who would have been in this situation near the Tree of Revelation, looking at the cosmos, both on the ground and in the skies above him, near Tamar. There's a clue, him. That narrows it down a bit. You are a work of art, it says here. He's appreciating the macrame on the tree there, and the eye of knowledge, I think that might be there. And these beautiful night skies in a field somewhere near Tamar. I really like this one. Look at this fantastic image here. Don't search, attract. He might be finding out about the law of attraction as well. And love is the answer. We like that, of course, don't we, here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Let's find out who it is and give him a nice big round of applause. It is, of course, our friend Nuno. Now, the man of a million, I don't know.
Good morning, community.
Good morning, Nuno. You might be in a scout outfit. You might be in a suit from the insurance world. But no, neither of those. You are in a field near Tamar. What's going on?
So I'm here because I don't know that what was expecting me. Because hi, James. Because last year I went to a music festival. So the main DJ supposedly will be here, and it was because of him that I'm here. And in the first day, they announced that he cannot be here, so he will not come, and all of my expectations were to the ground.
Yikes.
So what I can do? Cry, request my money back, or just think, okay, let's see what I can take from this.
Go with the flow, you might say.
Yes, and be available to receive what the life is prepared to giving to you. In this case,
absolutely.
To me.
So yeah, the lemons have been delivered, and you're making lemonade.
Yes, true.
Right. Before we find out more about this incredible event, and there seem to be more and more of these happening in Portugal. We had a little conversation, didn't we, at the beginning? It's like people are calling Portugal the India of Europe. We will talk about that a little bit more because Astrid is joining us. I wasn't sure if she'd be joining us this morning. Let's give her a nice big round of applause. You, of course, know each other. Look at this, Astrid. We've got Nuno here in a field.
Oh, Astrid.
I know. Wow. What a great team.
How are you? Because I wasn't sure if you were going to be with us this morning.
Can you hear
feeling
me?
okay? Yeah, absolutely. Loud and clear.
I'm feeling okay. I had Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah. That we can definitely hear you.
Oh,
You can?
Nuno's in a
Okay.
field and he can hear.
How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I was wondering more about you.
Allergy.
Oh, no.
Cold, but I think it's just allergies.
Right, okay.
So pretty bad yesterday.
But you're recovering. So, Ash melhoras, amiga. So get well soon. Take it easy. There is something going around, it would seem. And you're popping in to tell us about tomorrow evenings, this is a great webinar, which gave you the opportunity to write some fantastic copy on transportation of pets to Portugal. And we're encouraging everyone to bring their animals along because we love that. Bring your pet to the webinar week this week. Pause in Portugal. What are people going to find out tomorrow then, Astrid?
Look, it's really about discussing the requirements of bringing your pet to Portugal if that's what you're wanting to do. The size of the dog can also matter because there are some airlines that allow you to travel with your pooch if you prefer. But some guidelines there. What to expect of the veterinary care here, what your dog can expect during the transportation services. So it's touch base on those common questions, but also an opportunity for the audience to ask their own questions too.
Terrific. So everything about bringing cats and dogs, right? Because we know some people have reptiles and horses and all sorts of other animals, but we're going to be focusing on cats and dogs tomorrow evening, aren't we?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And the ever popular, or I should say increasingly popular Dream Team session. It really is the rock and roll of migration, isn't it? Great session last week where we ended with the question, Pau de lo, yes or no. So we tackle the big issues as well as all the basics, the nuts and bolts of what you need to move to Portugal. What else have we got? Because there are socials coming up all over the country as well.
There are. So on tomorrow as well in Porto is the Hank and Connie social meetup. So the details about that are in the calendar on the site, on the webinars and events page on expatsportugal.com. And then next week on the 27th, we've got a Tamar meetup as well. Okay. So there's quite a few in-person activities going on as well. And we're planning a meetup for Lisbon as well.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And the Golden Visa webinar as well. That's today.
Yes.
So all sorts going on. We've got our meetup here in San Martino, the Porto, and in Porto itself tomorrow with Hank and Connie in person, folks, at Rua de Alegria, which sounds nice, doesn't it? That's in Porto. And then the Tamar meetup, and that'll be not this Saturday, but the one after, I think. July.
That's correct, yes.
There you go, in Tamar. Fantastic. How is your weather in Cascais this morning, Astrid?
It's a beautiful day here today.
Oh, finally, right? We have the summer here. It's official. We have the summer, as we can see on Nuno's face as well in the field that he's in. Anything else to let us know about, Astrid?
That's it for now, Carl. I think we're getting revved up for the holiday season in August, but we'll still be working. We're still here. But no, that's it, I think.
All right. Well, you take care, and I shall see you tomorrow night for the transportation webinar.
Yes,
and,
we'll see you
the
then.
Dream Team thereafter. So see you tomorrow evening. Thank you for popping in. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
See
Bye.
ya. A somewhat difficult connection there with Cascais, but you've got the information you need there. That's tomorrow night's Pause in Portugal, seamless pet transportation tips to Portugal with Expats Portugal tomorrow evening. So back to the field then, and the cat in the field in Tamar or near Tamar. So you haven't got the convent in the skyline there. You're in the countryside near Tamar, Nuno, by the sound of it.
Yes, maybe
Okay.
20 minutes away of Tamar.
Amazing. And I saw a picture of Agroal, which is a fabulous river beach not far from Tamar. People do think of the historic town, but there's so much beautiful countryside, river beaches, and all sorts of wonders outside of Tamar as well. And that's where you find yourself. Now, this idea of Portugal being the India of Europe, what's that all about then?
Yes, so this is not my world, definitely. I emerge, I emerge on this world just I don't know how. And talking with people, it seems that there are people are doing more and more retreat centers,
Hmm.
especially in the center of Portugal,
Yeah.
but all overwhere, from
Yes.
Algarve to Braga, so all overwhere, but mainly in the center of Portugal. Um, on the festival that I went last year, and on this event, I should say that 70% of the people are not Portuguese people.
Interesting.
Some are living here, others don't. Just came to attend from this meeting. I believe that they have talked about 39 nationalities, so
Really?
220 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting talk with different people
Yeah.
from other parts of the world with different ideas, different expectations, different dreams,
Yes.
different insights. So this is what I seek when I came to this world, which is not mine, but I feel it is pretty healthy,
Yeah.
and I feel comfortable on this comfortable because I'm not in a comfortable zone at
Right.
all. But and I don't try to fit in. I just let it flow,
Yes.
let it flow.
Yes.
And yeah, I like pretty much.
Amazing. Amazing.
It's
So,
like it's like living in two realities at the same time. So quantum
but yeah, but that's right.
theory.
But that's you, isn't it? I think you occupy different worlds, don't you? And that's the kind of guy you are. I feel like that myself as well. It's very interesting. But what is it? I'm very interested to know what it is people that you're speaking to, and it sounds like there's a very nice, convivial, easygoing atmosphere. Generally
Hmm.
speaking, what do you think? And I say this with reference to the earlier graphic that you photographed there. Don't search, attract. What is it people are trying to attract by going to such an event? And maybe what is it you hope to see, understand, or enjoy by being there yourself?
So people try to understand themselves or ourselves. This
Yeah.
is the main goal. This is not easy if we are if you based our participation on trust. So we need to be fully available to be fully vulnerable.
Oh
And
my
this is
word.
not easy because all of us have weakness, and recognizing to everyone, look, I'm pretty bad on this or that.
What, and fessing up to that and just putting it out there, as it were. And is that part of the purpose of being at such a festival? Is to be open and vulnerable and have a look at these things? Is that part of what's going on for you and other people?
Yes, but everyone is here with different, maybe different purposes,
Yeah, yeah.
seeking different things.
Yes.
So in the end, is from the diversity that we can get all the richness of an
Yes.
event like this.
Yes. So what is so people know? I mean, on the face of it, it looks like a bit of a hippie gathering, right? A peace and love, and
Oh yeah.
a nice place to be, to feel comfortable, and to do a bit of self discovery. That's the gist of it. What specific activities are people doing there?
Okay. So before replying to you, let me say that
Yeah.
well, I have two daughters with 23 and 25 years old,
Yeah.
and when we and my wife we came to these events, they talking between each other. They say, "Oh
What's
no,
happened? What's
our
happened to
parents
the parents?
go to the hippie thing of them."
That's brilliant. Right. And what do you say to that? You like that? You mustn't worry about us. We're going to be fine.
Well, what I can say to you is that I feel sad from my close friends because I look to them and I see, oh, these guys are so old. Mine olds, okay, mine olds. They're
Yes.
doing the same from the house, from the home to the work, to the work to the home, and they are doing this every day. And then vacations, and then weekends, and everything is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And yes, sometimes I'm feel that this is not my space because well, I'm above the average age, definitely.
Yes.
But it allows me to share my experience of life with the youngers.
Wow.
So, and what was your
No,
question, Colin?
I
Because I
don't,
think
I
that I
don't know.
missed.
I'm just fascinated. I'm just fascinated by your adventure and your journey here. And I can, so you're talking and sharing with younger people. So you're above, as you say, you're above the average age of people there.
Oh
Are
yes,
people
yes.
are people looking to you as a bit of an elder guru then?
No, 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 no. I'm not a guru ever. I'm a learner
You're an insurance,
always.
you're an insurance guru,
No, no, not even, not even. I need to learn about everything.
right?
I'm learning all the time, every day. So no, so yes, I'm above the average age. Also, and it's interesting that maybe 2/3 are women,
Yeah, it's often the way it
and
is
and
sort of.
it's not one thing that it's very interesting is that there are no uh, sexuality on this.
Right.
It's basically about feminine energy,
Yes. Yeah.
other energy. So it's I don't know what I can tell you, but you need to
No,
come
we
to.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what are we looking for if we do want to come along and join you next year? What's
You
the
never
name of
know.
the what's the name of the festival?
Oh, ecstatic dance, ecstatic gathering, Portugal. I believe that
Get
this is
in,
the name.
right. Ecstatic gathering in
Yeah,
Portugal. Fantastic. No, no.
yeah, yeah.
If I could bring you back into the world of insurance for a moment, this is the world people generally know you by. And isn't it wonderful? That we wear all different masks, don't we, in life? And it's so wonderful to see you in your natural environment. That's
Oh, and definitely, this is my natural environment
yes.
because two things. First, I'm on the countryside, and
Yes.
as a scout, this
Yes.
is my definitely my environment. And what is the other one? Oh, and actually, the other one is because I always have been and keep being very mental, and it was very strange because I don't know what I'm expecting from this. And on the second day, they tell to all of us, so the 220, look, now you can go to your email because everyone have received astrology lecture
Right.
about your potential.
Yeah.
And well, I never give much attention to this, honestly, but I heard because it's precisely to everyone. They made this to every single one of the participants.
Yes.
And mine was, no, no, your astrology lecture is not strange, not interesting, but something, I don't remember the word that he used, because you have all the elements on the mental field,
Yes.
all of
Yeah.
them. So about you, it's all mental. You are ideology. You are about values and beliefs. So it's mental. I say, oh yeah, tell me. I know that. I know that.
Very
It's
interesting.
interesting how they can see
Oh
this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
about
Well,
us.
I live with an astrologer. I understand a little bit about how these things might be helpful
Yeah.
and indicative and point you in a certain direction. But so has that been useful then to have that realization that you spend a lot of time in your mind and that there are other faculties available as well?
Yes, yes, yes. And I always been connected with this feminine energy because oh, I think I consider that I have this sixth feeling of
Yes,
that women have.
intuition, if you like.
Oh, it's something that comes in the air. I cannot tell you what, but it's something that I just feel. I just feel so. I'm happy to be in this environment
Yes.
with more women, with less testosterone, which
Yes.
is what I have in every day with business, business, business. So
Yes, yes, very interesting. So quite the contrast for you at the
yeah,
moment. Okay.
yeah.
We've got Filomena who's joined us. Bom dia, Malta. Como estão? Espero que esteja tudo bem. Morning to you. Igualmente, I'm going to say to that, Filomena. Good morning to you. And if you do find yourself, Nuno, surrounded by a group of young people and they're pushing you for some wisdom, you could share this with them, a not so serious deep thought. There are three kinds of people: those that learn by reading, those who learn by observation, and there are those who have to pee on the electric fence for themselves. Yes. I think
True.
that's true. And James, I think, is feeling there this morning. I've been called mental my whole life. I don't think they meant it in the same way. Judge for yourself on a Monday, or check out his old guy in Europe videos and see for yourself. Right, Nuno, if I can pull you back to the world of insurance for a moment, absolutely fascinating to talk to you about where you are and what you're doing there. And there are also some concerns of a more prosaic nature about what's going on in the health system here in Portugal. I've had friends who've been in hospitals just recently, and I've had varying experiences of being there. What's going on? Could you give us a little snapshot? And you do this every Thursday night, of course, on the Dream Team session. You always give us an update from the insurance industry. But here on the Good Morning Portugal environment, it still makes best sense, does it, to have that mixture of public and private, even though the public hospitals are under a great deal of pressure at the moment?
Yes, yes. So what we see is that this bubble is becoming bigger and bigger, and we just expect that the bubble don't explode. Okay, basically, and I'm not expecting this.
Yeah.
So the government, yes, they are trying to reduce waiting lists, but they're trying since I don't know how many years. They have some agreements with private sector, but they only have some slots available to the public. So private is becoming more and more plan A. So public is plan B. Supposedly it should be plan A, but it's not. Honestly, it's not plan B. But this is not only it's not plan A. This is not only in Portugal. We are assisting these on the Occidental world, Occidental countries.
Yeah.
So if we heard UK news, Spain news, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think that even we are struggling with these, we are looking, we are lucky to live in a country, in a society that has this kind of support, social
Mm.
support.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely. Yeah.
okay, it cannot, it can't be available straight away, but okay, we have something, and if we want to see problems, health problems solved quicker, yes, the private is the answer to everyone. Then, what kind of private health insurance? This is a big point because I see, I feel I have in insurance two worlds in this moment. Some people are canceling insurance policies that pretty much covers pretty much everything,
Yeah.
and they are changing to others because they are more affordable. Okay,
Yeah.
and we are assisting also the reverse, which is people that came to Portugal and enrolled, especially on the banks. Look, sign here is a health insurance. Okay, health insurance.
Yes, I did that.
Uh, and they are writing us, finding us on the social media, sending us emails or WhatsApp, just telling, look, I want to cancel, or I already canceled my health insurance policy on this or this insurance. I need a better one. So if you don't know what you have, or before doing any movement, rather do cancel or doing a new one, talk with someone that really know about the wording of the insurers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will only be buying a cost, an insurance premium, the name of the coverages. You don't know what is the wording behind those names, and the limits or amounts to insurance and copays. So talk with someone. If you want to call, if you want to talk with us, we'll be pleased to talk with you.
There you
But
go.
talk, do questions, a lot of
That's
questions.
great. That's a really kind offer, and it can, I think, can be especially confusing for foreigners here in Portugal, not understanding what to do. So that's a very kind offer, a lifeline even from our friends at Winsurance. Find them in the Expats Portugal Business Directory. So coming back to the India of Europe, that's so funny because we've been talking about Portugal being the California of Europe, and you can understand why. And now this idea that people, these journeys of self-discovery that are going on here in Portugal are giving it the name the India of Europe. What self-discovery journey are you on today? Can you tell us which workshops you might be going to, Nuno?
Oh, it was one very interesting about the ancestor line.
Oh yeah.
And we found some pattern.
Is it family constellation therapy?
No, not family constellations, but
Okay.
it's about if you find some pattern on our ancestries,
Yeah.
that it could also in my life, I'm doing the same thing if I
Oh
can
yes.
change.
Yes. Well, like sort of ancestral patterns repeating themselves, not just personal.
Yes, that's it. Thank you for the
Just
help.
when you thought you were only dealing with your own stuff, you find out you've got the ancestral generations of stuff you might have to deal with as well. Flipping heck! Just when you thought you
Yes.
were coming out of the woods into the light, there you go. Got your granddad stuff to deal with as well, maybe. Anyway, it's nice to know that you can deal with it here in Portugal with this growing number of festivals and events. By the sound of it, here in the India of Europe. Who knew this morning? So have a great time, Nuno, over there. Looking forward to chatting to you and seeing you perhaps. I don't know, maybe you will be with us on the Dream Team session tomorrow. You are like Superman. 1 minute,
Yeah.
you're in your Superman outfit doing insurance. Next minute, you're in a field somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Portugal.
I'm not super nothing. I could be a super learner, but besides this, don't. But tomorrow I will attend to the Porto's meetup,
Oh,
so
excellent. Right.
I could be on the highway towards Lisbon during the Dream Team. I
Okay.
definitely will access, will
Amazing.
attend.
You are incredible. Well, you take it easy because I'm sure that's one of the takeaways from the festival there is calma, tranquilo, don't be too crazy. It'll all get dealt with in the end. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful time then. And thank you
Thank
so
you so
much for
much
joining
to
us.
everyone.
I'm
Thank
not
you,
going to give
Carl.
you a round of applause. I'm going to give you some gumper dust, which seems appropriate. How about some of this?
Oh,
Very
much
good. Take care,
appropriate.
mate. All right. Ciao. Bye for now. Bye. There he goes. Nuno in a field in central Portugal. We've got Raquel, who's on the move as well. I don't know if she's driving to or from a Mind Body Spirit festival at the moment, or to the office, or back from school. Busy mum, of course, as well as running Lighthouse Consulting. Shall I wait until you're parked up, Raquel? I'll give you. So you want to join us live now? She's giving us a thumbs up. We'll give her a round of. We'll come back to the God Squad tip of the day and other wonderful comments that are coming in about Nuno and everything else that we've been covering this morning. And thank you, Joao Ernesto. You've been busy as well this morning with some funny philosophy. Love those as well. Let's talk to Raquel now. Hola, bon dia. Look at you multitasking. You be careful. Keep your eyes on the road there.
I hope you can hear me.
Absolutely loud and clear. Yes. And thank you for joining
Okay,
us.
fine.
It's a
I'm
beautiful
sorry
day.
for.
I'm,
I'm sorry for the ecosystem, but I had to go pick up my poor child, my oldest child, because she just spent 10 days in Istanbul, poor thing. And so I had to go pick her up from the airport. And so here I am in Set Kriel to show you the lovely views of the roads.
Portuguese ring road. How exciting and romantic is that?
Isn't it? I'm about to enter the highway of Cascais. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, people who visit Cascais know that road well. So how is life in Cascais at the moment? We talked to Astrid earlier on. The weather's looking very good. And how's life there? Lots
It
of tourists.
is. Finally. Well, it's always a very touristic area. Of course, there's no like up and down. It's all year. There's winter tourism, and there's local people that there's a huge expat community. So hear more English in the streets than even Portuguese. So it's a bit difficult even to sometimes set apart the people who are tourists from the locals, right?
I see, yeah.
But it's good. I think it's I won't leave it for the world. Even yesterday I was thinking we have everything here. Hospitals, whatever it is, we have it there in Cascais. So I really never feel the need to come to Lisbon. I had a birthday party on Saturday, and I'm too old for parties. And we were going to Lisbon, and I was like, oh my God, who can get me out of Cascais to go to Lisbon on a Saturday night? But
yeah, it is
but I
funny
did, and it was fun.
We have American friends here in this community who, in America, I suspect, would drive 3 hours to go out for dinner. And here we are in Portugal. It's like we live in Cascais. I'm not going to the big city. That's going to take me an hour, and I'm never going to get that time back.
Yeah.
Plus all the stress.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, the distance, that's what makes really, it shows how different and how relative things are for people, because Absolutely. And then how adaptable people are when they get here, because before they get here, they have the same sense of, no, everything is near because it's a half an hour, 45 minutes away. It's all near. And then once they're here for a few years, they start to get like the Portuguese, like, oh, no, that's too far away, an hour away. No.
So, it's too hot. It's too far. It's too this, that, or the other. I just want to stay in. Right? Okay. Expect that as your Portuguese acclimatization. Now, James says you don't have rain in Cascais. I think you probably do sometimes, don't you? And great question. Rain. Do you know what rain is?
Oh yeah, we do. We do. Yes. I wouldn't say that we have less of rain than, for instance, Lisbon or whatever. I mean, there's a lot more humidity because we're a lot more closer to the coast, of course, like in the mornings and all of that. But it does rain, and this year, last year and this year, it didn't rain a lot. But the past few months, it has recovered a little bit. But no, it's exactly the same. It rains. The issue with Cascais, it's not even the rain. It's the freaking wind. It's always windy in Cascais. So it's a lovely day in Lisbon. It's hot out there, Sintra, whatever you need, whatever you go. And then you try to have like a sunset, or, you're in your lounge trying to have a drink, and, everything gets blown away because the wind never gives up. So even if it's hot, the wind is always up at Cascais.
Yeah, it can be like that in a seaside town, can't it? And you get that noise, don't you, on the yachts of the wind knocking the ropes and the metalwork against the masts of the ships. So there you go.
Whenever I'm on my yacht, that's what happens. Yes.
Yes, it's terrible for us, isn't it? Who have yachts, or that constant noise. It's one of the pitfalls of yacht ownership, of course. It's ask anything about Portugal Wednesday, or say anything about Portugal Wednesday as well, which it is now. And James, I think this question fits in with the theme. You're on a desert island, and we will talk about the NHR 2.0 in just a moment, because Raquel here knows a thing or two about that. You're on a desert island. What treat do you bring from Portugal? I think if you're coming from Portugal to a desert island, it probably needs to be a dessert island, and you bring one of Portugal's fine pastries for for that. But yes, please, your answers in the chat for James, who's popped in this morning to see us. James Campbell, that is, not James Holly. Good morning, everyone from Gemini as well. Yeah, so this NHR, people's hopes were dashed last year, Raquel, weren't they, when it was announced that regime was ending. Anyone who'd shown an interest, of course, in moving to Portugal and could prove that before the end of 23 was still eligible. But for everyone else, it was over. And then suddenly this new government who want to cut taxes and they want to incentivize investment, by the look of it, slightly right of center, it's turning out, want to bring back an NHR or a similar product. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I even did a post, not a lot of time after the NHR, the ancient NHR was extinct, that I had a hint that it wouldn't completely die. As a solution, there would have to be something similar. And we knew from various other European countries that there were some of the items stressing other European countries out, like the pensions, like because we tax 10% foreign pensions, but we don't tax capital gains, et cetera, and those were kind of disturbing some other European countries. And so we knew that if we just did that compromise, and as long as, that, because I think that was very much a political move. It wasn't effective. If it was effective, it was in a negative way, because a lot of people didn't come because of the end of NHR. And so nothing positive came of it, but it was very much a political show from more of the left wing to appease people who were saying, the prices of houses are going up because foreigners are buying, which, by the way, are true today. Is true today. Data came out saying that in the beginning of this year, not only did the house prices not fall down, they increased, but also the ones that are buying the most expensive houses are the foreigners. So, it is a reality but it is what it is. And if there's a market for that, and if there's someone that can buy that, then whenever someone buys a house, they pay taxes. So that's a way for the country to receive right away, just by someone buying a house, taxes from that operation. So I think that's good. And we were hopeful that the golden visa might return as well. It did. Actually, it never went away. It just got really limited to like astronauts and scientists and stuff.
Astronauts. And brain surgeons and rocket scientists, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to have one of those activities where you're included. But anyway, with the NHR, we knew that it was really a mistake to draw it back. So what they did now is it's pretty much the same. Exactly pretty much the same. I mean, in terms of personal income tax rate for dependable income, it's still 20%. So there's no change there. The only changes were in those the pensions and the capital gains and such. And the big change is another name. So if you call it another name, people won't think that the NHR is back. Oh, no. It's like IC, whatever it is. So they didn't want to call it NHR anymore, just so, that they wouldn't concede that it was another NHR. But it is. Fundamentally, it's exactly the same. Few changes. It's still 10 years. It's still pretty much the same. So,
but the NHR was never a good name in the first place, to be fair, was it? I mean, no one really understood. That was a real sort of political name, wasn't it? Or a bureaucratic name, the non-habitual residency. No one really knew what that meant. People want to know. It
was confusing because non-habitual resident, exactly when the person starts to be resident, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it was.
So have they sorted that out? What I mean, people on the street are calling it the NHR 2.0. What is the what is the government's name for it?
I to tell you the truth, I don't even know by heart.
We're just gonna call it NHR 2.0.
Yesterday, I wrote something about it yesterday and just thought it was so stupid for them to find a different name, and it's long. It has like 4 or 5 letters, so it's like incentive for whatever.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
just
So
found it so stupid that I just, and everybody's calling it NHR point two. So I
yeah.
just,
Okay. Well, we'll
whatever
go
it is.
or the new NHR. We
Yeah,
will be sticking with that by the sound of it then.
but it is good, eh? It is good because when it went away, it scared a lot of people that were thinking of coming and just gave up on the idea because of the NHR being gone. And one of the biggest things, in the last few months that I've heard from my clients is, am I eligible for NHR? And a lot of people knew like the escape routes to be still within the scope of NHR. Like if you had a rental agreement or if you had your kids in school before October, whatever it is. And a lot of people knew this. So it was a very, very important incentive for people coming over. And so I'm glad that it's alive again, that it is here again. I hope that it gets publicized a lot more, because that is one of the greatest incentives for people coming over.
Really good. Okay. And it's not just for astronauts.
No. It's common folks.
Okay. So,
Thank
but
God.
not everybody, right? There
No,
are some
no, no, no,
conditions.
no. Well, NHR was never for everybody. In
Yeah.
fact, it was one of the reasons why sometimes it was better to create a company than go freelancing, because one of the activities that is always considered within the NHR scope is to be a manager of a company, regardless of the business of the company, right? Whereas if you were a freelancer, it does depend on the type. Sometimes just to get the benefit from NHR, it was better to create a company and be the manager of a company in that specific area so that you could get the NHR and the 20% of IRS. So
Okay.
it's still dependent on specific areas. It's not for everyone. But that's not like the main change. Like the main change is, in fact, that is back, first of all, that it maintains the 20% IRS rate, because, Carl, 20% IRS rate, it's like mental for any Portuguese. And you know this because anybody that even has a half decent salary cannot go under 35%, 30%, 35%, and you can go up to 48%.
Yep.
Plus Social Security. So imagine the difference from 20 to 48%. It's
Yes.
freaking different. And remember that the Social Security is proportional, right? It charges on the salary. So the less the salary, the less the Social Security. So it does make a huge difference at the end of the day, but it of course it gets compensated, because if they're buying the high-priced real estates, they are paying the IMT taxes, they are paying the IMI taxes, they are wining and dining and buying stuff here, they're paying VAT. And even if they pay a bit more of a bit less of IRS, they're still contributing in a lot of ways, and specifically also for Social Security, right? So it's always going to be a good thing to have people come over, even if you give them a 20% IRS rate.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not insignificant. Still, is it at 20%? So there will still be something coming into the coffers, and you'll be attracting investment that you might not have or otherwise had. Can you walk people through the process, Raquel? If people want to find out more and register or find out if they're eligible in the first place, can you help them?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It's a very simple process, as it was the previous one. People can do it online on the tax portal. In fact, even though I've helped a lot of people register for NHR. I never charged anyone for doing that because it's so simple. But it's huge. It does make a huge saving and a huge difference in someone's life. But you can do it in the tax portal, okay? Just have to know where to go. I'll give you a tip right off the bat. It's something that I always tell my clients. The best way to find anything in the tax portal, believe it or not, is in the search box.
Wow.
So the search box is not something that usually works in a lot of sites, right?
It's
You
true,
get,
it's true.
stupid. It's a great thing in the tax portal. That search box is heaven. Okay, so
Great.
if you
Okay.
just put resident or sorry, you're not seeing me, resident or non-habitual residents or anything like that, you'll get through to the place exactly that you need to register. Okay, and
Brilliant.
then there's e-balcão. E-balcão is also a very important function of the tax portal, which is like an email, a communication with the tax authorities. And through e-balcão, which stands for electronic balcão, which is service, right?
Kiosk.
A kiosk, you can choose the specific question, chooses the specific item. There's drop-down lists, and then you can communicate directly with the tax office. So it's great because you don't have to go anywhere. You can communicate with them directly. You can communicate with the specific people from the specific departments, IRS, VAT, whatever it is. So it's a great way to save a lot of time and not to go into, in person to the tax office.
Very good.
So
Okay.
it's in the tax portal, basically.
Great. All right. Well, I'm finding the links for all of these. eBalcão, you can find out. Actually, if you go into the first link I put there into Finanzas, that will lead you in the right direction. And of course, Raquel able to help. This is amazing, says the Portugueser. Where's she going? He must have joined us a little bit later in the program this morning. Thank you, Raquel. We'll leave you to have a nice breakfast or brunch with your daughter there. Has she had a nice time in Istanbul? Well, I think we might have lost her already here. Okay, so I think we can leave Raquel to enjoy her reunion brunch with her daughter there, and thank her for the thanks, Raquel, for your insight into the NHR 2.0. Find Raquel here at lighthouseconsulting.pt and Portal de Finanças as well. That's what she was talking about for just checking the right boxes for making sure that you're applying for the NHR or the new NHR system. So thank you, Raquel. Any other questions she might have about? Oh, she's back again. Hold on a minute. Hello. Thank you. Just wanted to thank you and say bye-bye and have a lovely day.
No,
ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much, Carl. No, everything is fine. We can talk. I'm fine.
Excellent. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. We've got your website address there, and I was imagining you'd be having a nice brunch reunion with your daughter there. Oh, I suspect she's had a fantastic time in Istanbul.
It would be nice, but I have a meeting at 10 and life goes on.
Well, make her take you out for lunch, daughter, okay? Make her take you out for a nice lunch. Okay, all right. Well, lovely to meet you, Mr. President.
Will do.
All right, ciao. See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Fantastic. That was added value, wasn't it? Seeing Raquel drive there from Lisbon to Cascais. That's where she was going, Portuguese. Nice to see you here this morning. Also, Steve White is in today as well. Are you calling yourself the Property Hammer there? I'm trying to get the right. Oh, that's not a bad view on the screen there, is it? I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the different screens that you can have here and pressing the right button. Mrs. M's got all sorts of setups here. Let's go with that for this morning. And thank you as well, Pete, for your simultaneous driving and tax lessons in one. Yes, very Portuguese driving style, I have to say there, that Raquel has too. Thank you, Pete, for your simultaneous. While we had Raquel talking about NHR 2.0 and connected issues, we had Pete giving a simultaneous lecture on the history of the condom in the chat as well. So well done, Peter. Your grasp of Portuguese and the history of said object is quite extraordinary. Let's go back to where we started this morning. El Guy in Europe was here at just before 8 o'clock with a mindful moment. My fitness app says I need to go for a run. My well-being app says I need to meditate. I'll just let them fight it out while I have a glass of wine. Yes, good idea. And talking of glasses of wine and seeing Antonio F in the chat, lovely to see you at our Tuesday night social, where we encourage drinking on a school night and trying Portuguese things. I mean, that's the primary focus, not to get drunk or to drink necessarily, but try Portuguese things with us on our social. Great night last night. Head gardener Lee McGrady was there. Very good fun. He was his usual frank self and sharing a bit of gardening advice with some of the other folks who were on the call as well last night. And I was trying, for some reason, I haven't tried bacalhau pate, or hadn't until last night. And this beautiful bottle of wine that I was given for my birthday as well. That's delicious. The Segredos de São Miguel. Very good. The Grand Harvest there, Escolia Grand Harvest or selection. Segredos de São Miguel. Thoroughly recommend that, as I do Pate de Bacalhau and the company of Antonio F., who was fabulous last night as well. Really good to hang out with you, Antonio F. So thank you for being there last night. This was the opening meme. If you can only see yourself through my eyes, you'd be amazed about how blurry you are. Not so much for João de Nort anymore, who's had recent cataract surgery. How's that been for you at your watercolor class? You're like, whoa, I had no idea. All these beautiful colors. How's that going, John? And thank you, John. We'll come back to your funny philosophy this morning after we've had a look at the God Squad tip of the day as well. Oh, no, James isn't finished. Mindful dad joke. Monk who claims he saw face of Jesus in his margarine said, I can't believe it's not Buddha. An oldie but goodie there. It's like yeah, definitely a mindful dad joke. Bon dia Gumpers from Coach Turner. Then como está? Just occasionally I have a coaching session where I can see great improvement in what the athletes are doing. I guess it's slow and steady, isn't it, improvement? And then sometimes you get this wonderful blast of improvement here that I think you're talking about this morning. Yesterday was one of those days. All three athletes across the two sessions that I coached showed a marked improvement in their technique. There must have been something in the air. And or maybe put your specs on. Should have gone to Specsavers in the previous sessions. God Squad tip of the day. Then blood pressure and resting heart rate are two useful indicators of health and fitness, while separately controlled by the body. Our bodies are amazing, aren't they? They do interact, especially at the extremes. Bodies tend to get attention, don't they? We were talking about the health system earlier on, and bodies tend to get attention when they're doing something we're not happy with, rather than the gratitude we might show our bodies the rest of the time when millions, billions of things are going on brilliantly without our conscious attention. Shout out to the bodies this morning. So if you have raised blood pressure, recent research has shown a few ways to lower it. Go to the festival that Nuno's at. Actually, for some people like Pete, going to that festival would probably raise his blood pressure rather than lower it. So I got some research that has shown a few ways to help lower blood pressure and improve cardiovascular health, which will also likely reduce resting heart rate. The first is something I've talked about many times. Walking. Walking is good. All walking is good, says Coach Turner, but best is to walk briskly so that you start to breathe more heavily. 3 15-minute brisk walks, more effective than 1 hour long wanders. In fact, the faster the better. Playing with the speed to add 20-second maximum effort bursts can be just as effective. Bit of fartlek squeezed in this morning. We'll look at 2 other types of exercise to lower blood pressure over the next 2 days. Nice one. Have a great hump day. Cheers, Coach. And thank you very much. Enjoy your coffee this morning. Antonio F., the aforementioned. Bon dia todos. And let's go to João de Nort's excellent contributions this morning. Oh, and Philomena was letting us know as well. The medieval fair at Obidos is happening for sure. And as there is one in Coimbra this weekend as well. Not so deep thought. There are 3 kinds of people. We had this before. It's worth reading again. Those that learn by reading, those who learn by observation, and there are those everyone knows someone like this, and you might even be that person. I think I'm this person, actually, to be fair. There are those who have to pee on the electric fence to find out for themselves. Funny philosophy, a goat's disagreement cannot stop it from being taken to the market. That's a Nigerian phrase there, or saying. We go to Guinea now for some more funny philosophy. Thank you for these, João Ernesto de Norte. No matter how hot your anger is, it can't cook your dinner. That's so true, isn't it? Come on, don't give up your inner peace on account of other people and other things outside yourself. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. Yogi Berra. I think it was James, wasn't it, who first introduced? No, it was T-Duck, who we'll see at the meetup this lunchtime. Looking forward to seeing you there. And we're going to do an outside broadcast from Palmera today. It's been a long time, but we're dusting down the outside broadcast kit, and we'll be broadcasting live from the meetup this lunchtime. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. Yogi Berra there. And it was, T-Duck who introduced us to Yogi Berra, I think, who was a baseball player, right? Not necessarily your draped in robes guru with a shaved head, but a baseball player. Always go to other people's funerals. Also, Yogi Berra here. Always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours. But what will you care? To be fair. Back to the live environment then. Those are the saved comments today. Thank you, James Campbell, for being here this morning. Good to see you, Joan, as well in the chat. And Gemini, Philomena, thank you very much. Yeah, if anyone wants to visit Coimbra this weekend, we're having the Medieval Festival in Coimbra. And that may well end up on the Gumper map, as are a few restaurants. I started a thread over at the Portugal Club of favourite restaurants, and I was reminded by Barandi, of course, that there are a few favourite restaurants of his on the Gumper map too. Yes, excellent grasp of the condom and the Portuguese language there. Well done, Peter. And scrolling through to, we've got Jordan, who's here with us asking about Christmas again. Good morning to you, Jordan. I am presenting a live stream, Jordan. How are you? What am I doing next year and at Christmas? And how many days until Christmas? And as we discovered the other day, and how many, all these questions, Jordan, come on, you're going to have to answer a few as well as ask so many. And I think we couldn't be further away from Christmas pretty much than we are at the moment. It's July, Jordan. Good to see you here this morning as well. Cod pate is not really a big thing in Portugal. I'd say it's quite recent. Okay. So the whole thing about bacalhau pate then is just to extend the brand, is it? Because I guess, if you're going to the trouble of making a bacalhau recipe, you probably wouldn't make pate, would you? You'd probably make bacalhau brush or some other, one of the many other bacalhau recipes. Thank you very much. Do 4.5 miles per hour, coach. What do you reckon? I'm not sure if the coach is still with us this morning. He's lobbed in his God's God tip of the day, and I think he might have gone off for coffee. Yes, he's in the staff room having a coffee at the moment, while us pupils are still out here asking questions like, do 4.5 miles per hour, coach, what do you reckon? That sounds quite leisurely, Portuguese, but not that I would know. I never time or measure myself, generally speaking. As Portuguese, as a croque-monsieur, that someone has spilled beer on the night before. Still not a fan then? And yes, says Antonio F. First time I saw it was yesterday in Carl's hands. Oh, okay. And Philomena saying, yes, I've never seen. This was it. You might recognize the brand, Philomena. Is it Fidesz pate? So they'll do the sardine and mackerel pates. And there it is, saying corange, nem conservantes, and now preservatives. Oh, that's something different, isn't it? You can't say, well, you'll be glad to know that there aren't any preservatives in the Portuguese sense inside your bacalhau pate there. I really enjoyed it with a nice papa seco, bit of butter, and some bacalhau. Arguably should have been a white wine with that, but I really enjoyed, as I said before, the Segredos de São Miguel there. So I've fallen for a little bit of a tourist trap, a foreigner thing there, I think, by going for the bacalhau pate. Actually, I hadn't seen it. That's why I bought it. And that's what we do on a Tuesday night. We try something Portuguese. And so I did last night. Thank you, folks, for being here. Join us tomorrow night. If you have a pet that you're bringing to Portugal, you'll be needing to see the information that we present to you, or our expert speaker does anyway. I merely host and facilitate, and we'll have an expert speaker on the matter of bringing... Oh, a fly just flew in. Flies are pretty annoying, aren't they, at the moment? I've stopped moaning about rain and I'm moaning about flies instead now. It's always great to have something to moan about. Yes, tomorrow evening, cats and dogs specifically, to Portugal, and bring your cat or dog with you, and they can sit on your lap and say hi during the webinar as well. And of course, the Dream Team session. I'm just giggling at Joao Ernesto's comment here. Enjoy it with some nice fava beans and a nice Chianti. Boa quarta-feira, todos. Thank you very much. And boa semana. As a final thought there from Peter, thank you for your excellent service to the show. We've learned so much from you, Pete, as well as what was going on the official content of the show. And James, my consistent casual walking pace is roughly 3 miles per hour. That's 5 to 6 kilometers per hour. Thank you very much for the conversion there. Have a great day. Maybe see you at Palmeira at the San Martino de Porto meetup. And remember as well, there's also a Porto meetup with Hank and Connie Honey in Porto tomorrow. So meetups all the way this week, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, where we'll talk to Veronica, who's had a funny old time. We're talking about hospitals earlier on. I'm sure she'll be sharing with us her episode just recently, and Carl Hyde as well. Carl Hyde, I'll leave you this morning then with a clip from his home presentation instead of our usual outro. This is Carl, who will be speaking to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care, and bye for now.
So I'm in Lisbon today. Photo shoot day for a new property that I've got coming to market. Beautiful T2 +1 in excellent condition, with this fantastic terrace with the amazing views. Not a bad way to start the day. Blue skies, a little bit of cloud in the distance, but I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be a good one. And of course, as always, young Gizmo, my emotional support beast. Hey, big boy. Yeah, it's a big adventure for him. Here we go. Okay, sausage. Okay, sausage. Yeah, he's very hungry this morning, aren't you? Okay. Anyway, I'll leave you with that view. Very nice.